Everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I really wanted to talk about the ending to The Walking Dead and I guess expectations, because that's going to be something that obviously we're going to be talking about a lot going into the final 8 here, right? Is how are they going to end? Is it going to be satisfying for everyone? And how should it end? Because that's something that if you're Angela Kang, you're the showrunner here, or even Scott Gimple, like, how do you end this and have it really, really matter to everyone and be worth, watching for the last 10, 11 years, right? Like it has to be, I guess it's almost 12 years now. Like it has to be worth watching every single Sunday for all the longtime viewers. But you also want to set up the spinoffs and the movies and stuff, right? But you can't really end it on a cliffhanger. I think ending it on a cliffhanger would kind of suck in that sense, right? If anything, just reveal a teaser afterwards. Have it completely unrelated to The Walking Dead. It just have like a teaser afterwards. A post-credit scene with that would be the teaser kind of thing. I think that for the most part, I think people would like. But anyways, yeah, I want to talk about all this. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. Again, if you haven't followed the Discord yet, definitely go do so. I'm going to be doing a Q&A tomorrow. So, yeah, if you're interested in taking part in that, then definitely go follow the server. The server name is Appetite for the Dead. The link is in the description. So I'm not entirely sure where this came from here. I think someone recently said that, it's not going to satisfy everyone. I don't know who said it, but I saw the quote somewhere online. I saw it on Twitter or I saw it somewhere. And then I was like, that's kind of interesting. Like, yeah, like no one not everyone's going to be satisfied with the ending. And like I could see myself personally being satisfied with it because I know what they're planning to do, right? And I think that's the thing. I think that's expectation with it, right? You got to set your expectations. And I am setting my expectations pretty high because it has to be high. I think this can't be something that is just like any ordinary finale to like, season 8 or 10 or whatever. Like it has to be something that is a runner up basically for one of the best episodes, right? It's going to be either, if it's not the finale, it's got to be the one beforehand, right? It's the general ending to the story here. And that last episode or two needs to be something that compares with the best of the show. And I want that. And I think it's entirely possible we can get that. People just assume that the glory days of The Walking Dead were just back then and we haven't gotten any good episodes since then. That's far from the truth. Rick's last episode to me is the best episode of all time. There's also, the Whisperer Pike episode. There wasn't a lot in season 10, I guess you could argue. There were some really great episodes in season 10 though, like really, really great ones. Just best of all time material. I don't know. I guess you couldn't really argue that. Season 11 so far hasn't had episodes that would be the best of all time. But again, I think it's because, there was a lot of downtime in the beginning because we just got off this big Whisperer arc. And now they're sort of building it up right now because these final 8 are going to be really chaotic and insane. And that's sort of that's the focus. If you're going to write a really good episode here in the final season, it's going to be towards the end, right? So again, I think that's why you need to kind of set your expectations with this. I think there's going to be high expectations. Like I said, I will have high expectations. I think there should be. Like, you can't end on a cliffhanger. You can't do something really stupid that people are just going to be pissed off. They've been watching this for forever now. They want payoff. They want payoff with certain storylines. I know you're doing spinoffs, you're doing the Rick movie, but you got to pay off certain storylines. You need to give us a lot more. Things need to be satisfying for longtime viewers. And again, you could set up stuff. It's totally fine to set up stuff. If you want to do that, that's totally cool. But you got to give us that. It's for all the people that have been watching since basically day one. I've been watching since like I don't know what day, but in season 2. So like the way I'm seeing it ending personally is I do think, finding out Rick's alive, as much as I want them to find out way sooner, I just have this feeling that that's going to be the big ending, right? And I don't know if that's enough. Like, I really don't know if that's enough. I think if that's the big ending, that's kind of sad, to be honest. I think that we need to find out way before, but it depends on how they find out and how they set up stuff for the Rick movie. And I think that, it needs to be a lot more than like just, oh, Rick's alive, right? Like, I think they need to find out that he's alive, like an episode or two beforehand. And then they're just sort of sitting with that information. And then you focus on a lot of the other things, right? And I think in that final episode, maybe you find out some more details about where he is and you see some specific stuff. Maybe you see a photograph of him. Like, I think you need a little bit more like that, where people honestly just the ability to see Andrew Lincoln, to see Rick Grimes would do so much for so many people. Even hearing him, I know we're not going to see him there. There's no way, just based off of the spinoffs anyways, that we're going to have him, involved in some way where it's like he's going there and he needs Daryl and Maggie's help. Like, it's not going to go like that. We know Daryl's going to Europe, likely to go find him. And Maggie is going to New York, right, to try and look for either Michonne or Rick. But I think having something like they find video footage of him, right, being interviewed or something like that. Or maybe it's just like they see a picture and it's like a mugshot sort of thing, because maybe he was at the what do they call it? I think it was the Health and Welfare Complex, the CRM, right? We learned that that's sort of like a jail, and that's where they keep people that won't, I guess, convert to the Commonwealth, or the Commonwealth, but the Civic Republic. So maybe that's where Rick is, right? I could see that, just anything like that where we can see him or even hear him, even if there's an audio recording or something, would make the biggest difference for a lot of fans. Trust me, it would make a big difference for a lot of fans. I think besides this, I think they're going to go out and try to find him. They're going to set that up there. I think they should really focus on, like, they're going to save the Commonwealth. I think there's going to be some bigger characters that are going to die, maybe one or two characters that die. And then I think, they're going to end it in a way where everybody is safe. They can now stay at the Commonwealth. They have a proper leader. Things are going to be different here, and everyone's going to live happily ever after, basically, right? I think that's definitely something that they should set up here. And I talked about it in my previous video, where I mentioned it a little bit. There is, some people are bringing up the time jump at the very end. They're likely not going to be doing that here because they want to do so much more. I think that time jump, though, might be saved for the future. Like, if the, the Rick trilogy, the third movie, that could be the ending, is they do that, right? So I think that moment is still going to happen at some point in the future, once they plan to actually end the Walking Dead franchise, or at least this current story, before they do like a reboot or other things later on, right? But, maybe they'll do a 1-year time jump. Could they do that? I think you could. Like, you could possibly do that. It's just you wouldn't be able to show characters like Negan, Maggie, Daryl, or I guess you could show Carol, I guess. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to show a lot of characters just because they have to be gone, right? Like, they have to be going out searching for Rick. And if they're there, it's not going to really make much sense, because they're not going to care to go out there really and try and find him. They're going to wait a year to leave. Like, you can't, I don't really buy that. So again, they could do a time jump where they just show Judith and them. It's been a year later. People are happy and whatnot, but maybe we don't see what's happened to Daryl and all that, right? Maybe Daryl, Maggie, and Negan, they're just not there. That's basically how I'm kind of expecting it to end, to be honest. It's going to be more of a happy ending, kind of bittersweet, because characters are going to leave, characters are going to die. But I think that's sort of my expectations with this. And again, some people want it to just end, right? And that's what I mean. We're not going to be able, or not me, but they're not going to be able to satisfy everyone. Like, the story, it's going to be good for some, but not good for others. And, some people, like, literally just want the story to end. They want Rick to come back in the last episode, or like in episode 20 or 17 or something, and then just be there for those last 8. And then that's it. We get that reunion, and that's it for the story. The Walking Dead's over. No more spinoffs, because people think the spinoffs are a lie for some reason. And I just think, if you're expecting all of that, like, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed, because they're going to be doing so much more than that, which I think a lot of us can get on board with, right? I think most of us are on board with, because we want that. We don't want it to be over yet. We want, like, if Rick was here the whole time since season 9, maybe I could argue, maybe you would end it here. Maybe do the spinoffs, because it would just be kind of fun, but maybe end Rick's story here at The Walking Dead. But because because the story ended where it did, I want more. Like, whenever we get that actual conclusion to the Walking Dead story, like to the Grimes story here and all that, I actually really, like, I want Rick to be really involved. He has to be the main character. Then I'll be satisfied. If the spinoffs were a lie, if the movies were a lie, this and that, and this was just going to be the ending, then yeah, I would definitely be disappointed. But that's not the case. Like, they're literally, like, that's the crazy thing about the spinoffs is, I believe they're going to be starting to film next month. I heard that it was in July. Maybe it's August, but they're supposed to be filming the Daryl spinoff and whatnot very soon. So we're going to start seeing some stuff from that, which is going to be kind of cool. I mean, I don't know how Maggie and Negan are going to be filming the spinoffs there in New York, because there's going to be a lot of people there. And it's going to be interesting, because we know how spoilers come out, right, for show is filmed in the US, but what if it's filmed in Europe? Is it going to be the same thing? Maybe it's going to be worse. Maybe there's going to be more information coming out. I don't know. Like, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, anyways, I really wanted to talk about this because I saw this and I thought it was a really interesting thing to sort of have this debate about. And I would really like to know your guys' thoughts on the ending and what your expectations are for the ending here. Because I think no matter what, we're going to hear people complain about it. It's just, it always happens. Like, after the episode airs, people are going to say, oh, that was so bad. It sucked. It was horrible. Like, we're going to see those people complain. Anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.